Today, we're going to be taking on double S difficulty of the Re-Destro climax battle yet again. I had a lot of comments on the last video saying, what are some other characters we could use to beat this climax battle? And today, I'm going to show you guys a completely different team from the team I had in the first video. It is not going to have any SR characters on it yet. I might do another video later on where I try to use some SR characters and see if I can beat this climax battle. But for right now, they are still all UR characters, and unfortunately, some of them are going to be limited characters. This is the team I'm going to be using. This is the team I used in the last video. So in the last video, we had DEKU, Compress, and Fantasy or Araka. In this video, DEKU and Compress are both gone. We're not using them anymore. So maybe if you don't have those characters, maybe you were lucky enough to have these characters. Hopefully you have Kirishima, or this is the one I feel like a lot of people might end up not having, but Starry Night Todoroki. And they are very good, and I'm going to explain why they're good for this particular scenario and why you're going to want to use them. So starting with Kirishima. Kirishima you're going to want to use because he obviously draws aggro all the time, which is very helpful when you're trying to keep your Todoroki and your Araka alive. Additionally, he is resistant to stun, so you will resist Re-Destro stun, and you will also resist Curious's stun, which is very, very, very helpful. So all you really have to worry about while you have Kirishima on your team is Getten's freeze, so it works out great. But you really don't have to worry about Getten's freeze, and you'll see why here in a second when I talk about Todoroki. So if we go into Todoroki's kit, I kind of want to show you guys this because I feel like not a lot of people realize what this Todoroki does or how good he is. But down here on his auto skill, his first auto skill says increases action skill impact of all allies by 30% when character's max HP is increased, increases speed of all allies by 20% when character's frostbite resistance is increased, and then here's the important part, it also increases defense of all allies by 20% when character's burn resistance is increased. Okay, and so that is a permanent buff in a way. It's kind of hard to explain. That gets applied as long as you have burn resistance or frostbite resistance. And your other two action skills that you have above give you burn resistance and frostbite resistance. So if you look at this second action skill right here, Ice Fog, the bottom of it says also gives burn resistance to all allies for 3 turns. So for 3 turns, you have burn resistance, and for the duration of those 3 turns that you have burn resistance, you also have increased defense on all your allies by 20%, which is really, really nice. And then the first action skill Todoroki has, Raging Fist, this is good for going against Getten because it is going to give you frostbite resistance on all your allies to help you avoid frostbite from Getten, which he can land on your allies. So really good stuff having this Todoroki on your team because he does give you the defense you need to be able to have higher defense than Re-Destro. So if you haven't watched my previous video, the whole idea behind this climax battle is that your team has to have higher defense than Re-Destro so that you do not raise his stress. If you, let's say you get his health all the way down to 1, he's on his last stand. If his stress is over 10, he will not die. Every time he uses skills in the last phase, he loses some stress, and you can work him down to 10 stress, but if it's too high, you are going to get obliterated and you are going to die before you ever have the chance to kill him. And that is why you need to use characters like these who have higher defense than Re-Destro so that you are not raising his stress too fast. We have rare characters on the subslots so that when he does switch out our units during one of the phases, they will get killed immediately and our better units will come back out so we can keep our rotations going. With all that said, I know it was a lot. Let's just hop into this. As we get into this, you guys are going to see me slow down the speed a little bit so that I don't miss the counters on certain turns. You want to make sure you are using Todoroki's skill in a successfully executed skill chain. That way you get the additional effects of giving you the burn resist and the frostbite resist, and then you will also in turn get the reduced damage or increased defense for your team. That increased defense is going to keep you from increasing Re-Destro's stress stacks. So let's go ahead and do this, and this is the order we're going to go in. Our Araka is just here for the, you know, healing, the crits, and the action skill cooldown time. And we'll turn this down to 2 speed. Okay, so our defense should be increased now. I will show you guys our defense and I'll speed it back up so it doesn't take forever to get through this climax battle, or at least longer than it already does. I forgot to switch my target to Re-Destro at the start here. It's not really going to change anything. I'll switch it now. Make sure you're targeting Re-Destro. Don't make that mistake there that I did, because we lost some damage because Getzen obviously didn't take damage. So in the first phase, target Re-Destro. Second phase, target Getzen and Curious and get them killed off. And then from there, you can go back to targeting Re-Destro. But if we take a look here at Kirishima and we go down, we should be able to see the burn resist somewhere right there. Burn resist for 2 turns, lowest chance of getting burned. And so as long as we have that burn resist, we are going to have defense up. That defense up right there, the temporary one, is 40% from Kirishima's own cover. It gives him 40% defense. But then if we scroll up more, we'll see defense up by 55%. That is from having Todoroki on the team. It technically is considered a permanent defense up, but it will go away once we lose burn resist. It's kind of weird the way it works. I think it goes away. Maybe it stacks. I'm pretty sure it goes away though. We'll look at it more as we go through this, but let's go ahead and do this. And as you can see, we have not raised the stress counter. We have all 3+ ultras this turn, so this team works out really well. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the menu again, and we'll just pay attention to Kirishima for now. And if we look at his burn resist up, he has 1 more turn of burn resist. We still have the 70% increased defense. Okay, so yeah, and then I believe we also get reduced damage from this plus ultra as well. So yeah, Kirishima just tanks like a beast in this. All right, now we should have the burn resist gone, but we'll be able to get it back this turn. Let's take a look at our defense and see how our defense is looking. So we still have defense up by 60%, but it has gone down because we don't have the burn resist anymore. So keep that in mind. When you lose the burn resist, you lose the extra defense up, but you're able to get the extra defense up back right away because you have Todoroki's skill on cooldown. So we'll go ahead and do these skills. We're going to go ahead and turn that down to 2, and let's do this. Todoroki's skill is actually quite good too, the freeze, because he does have a chance to freeze all opponents. Once in a while you freeze Curious, which is helpful. This time we didn't, but that's alright. Alright, and turn the speed back up for the turn. Now we're into the next phase. Even Fear gives me more power. Can you take this power? Now we go after Getzen and Curious. Okay, so that's pretty simple and straightforward. We're going to wait a turn though. That way we have our full skill chain. There is no problem with having a dead turn on this team really, other than Re-Destro just gets another stack of his stress because it takes us an extra turn, right? But that's fine. It's whatever. Doesn't really affect us that much. Let's go ahead and go after Getzen here. We'll go ahead and do these skills again. Now we have Frostbite resist. I think we burnt Getzen there as well, so Todoroki's actually, you know, pretty useful overall. And keep in mind, Todoroki is also increasing the max HP of our team, so any damage we take, it's like we're not really taking damage. So it's Todoroki does a lot for this team. Starry Night Todoroki is actually insane for this team. Alright, we'll use all of our plus ultras here. Hopefully we get Getzen pretty close to dead. I don't think he definitely won't be dead, but he should be about 1 more full action skill chain, maybe 2 to kill him. Go ahead and slow it down here and do these skills. Getzen's still not quite dead. It just takes so long to get through this phase and actually killing Getzen and Curious. After that, it's pretty smooth sailing. It goes a little bit quicker. But this stage is a little bit of a pain. It's really not that hard. It's just a pain. Now, if you've been running into the problem where they get barriers and they get evasion. You probably didn't read the strategy info, but that means you have a character that has Pierce, and characters that have Pierce are very bad for this stage because it's just giving them a bunch of barriers and evasion, and it makes it a lot harder for you to actually kill the enemies. So make sure you aren't using characters like Fantasy Sue who have Pierce. Alright, Curious is burning, so a little extra damage is always nice, doesn't hurt anything. Go ahead and use all of our plus ultras. This should get pretty close to killing her this time around. And we don't have to worry about her stuns, which is why I killed Getten first, because Getten can still potentially freeze some of our characters, which is annoying. But we can't get stunned because she's forced to target Kirishima and she doesn't have an AoE. So that's why Kirishima works out really, really well on this. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, we got her frozen, which is nice. We're gonna get an additional crit here and a stun. That's actually great. Really nice on the status elements there. Very helpful. Alright, and she should die maybe right here. These are just gonna be normal attacks. We'll have to see. She should die, I think. You guys will counter and then kill her. Yes, okay. Good. Now we just go after Re-Destro. Rinse and repeat from here on. So this is going to take like many turns. Obviously, we're already on turn 23, or technically turn 23. So yeah, it takes a lot with this team. We continue. One of the biggest reasons this takes so long is because Todoroki and Uraraka are not type advantaged, so they're not doing as much damage as a type advantage character like the Celebration DEKU would do. But I did want to try to do this without Celebration DEKU because I feel like he has been integral on a lot of teams. The teams that I've tried, the teams that I've seen people using, I don't want to use him. I don't want to say he's a necessary character, right? So I wanted to beat this without the Celebration DEKU. I know it feels kind of like he's necessary because of the status element nullification, but there are ways to work around not having a status element nullification character. Alright, and one more go. Do we use all of our plus ultras, or do we just use... I think we just use one, right? No, well, yeah, let's just use one, because they're gonna come back out. They're gonna get blown out right here. Alright, that should be good. Yep. Oh, he gained some stress right there. His defense was higher than us. Ooh. We don't like that. We don't like that. All right, so let's go ahead and I think we just wait. I think we wait. Yeah, we wait. All right, and they should die. Perfect. And we got our two main units back out that we wanted to use. All right, he is getting stressed now, so we have to be careful. We have to try and get our defense up. We should be able to get our defense up right here by using this skill chain and getting our burn resist up with Todoroki. And then hopefully he won't be gaining as much stress. That is the goal here. There we go. Now he's not gaining stress. That's perfect. That's what we wanted. Our defense is higher now because of Todoroki being on our team, which is perfect. All right, now we just use these plus ultras, and then we'll be able to use a full skill chain next turn. And everything is kind of just falling into place now. Now we just have to kill him. Alright, and we want to make sure to use the skill chain right here. Don't get confused and use the plus ultra, because you want to make sure you have that burn resist so your defense is higher. If you mess that up, it will cause problems for you. Oh, Uraraka still raised his stress right there a little bit, which is a pain. Stop raising his stress, Uraraka. Okay, so we're definitely not going to attack with Uraraka. We're just going to use the plus ultra from Kirishima here, because I'm getting a bit worried about that. That should be enough there. She's going to normal attack. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. And now we just go through this phase and try to let him, you know, drain his powers. So that's the goal here. Go ahead and use these plus ultras. Oh, or not, because we get stunned. We should be fine still, though, on health, hopefully. We're still good. We're still good. All right, now we go like this. We're going to draw aggro. Yeah, this should be fine. We're still okay. All right, now he's forced to target Kirishima with any single target attacks, hopefully like with this plus ultra, and we're good. Uraraka's still raising his stress, which is annoying to say the least, but right here we should be able to have higher defense, so it should work out okay. Maybe not. Oh, Uraraka. Oh, Uraraka, why'd you have to die? Alright, we'll reduce... okay. Come on, Kirishima, hang in there. Alright, can Kirishima do this on his own? Usually it works a lot better than this guy's. Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest team, but it should work, hopefully in the end. We'll see if he can hang on. Alright, now we just use the counter. And we should be able to hang on through it. Alright, he's down to 0 stress, and he's dead. And he's dead, and we've done it. Okay, so there you go. There is the clear. That got a little bit nerve-wracking at the end. Normally, I have been able to do it with all 3 characters surviving. Yeah, it is a little bit difficult. It is obviously much harder than using compress, but it does work out. So there is another team for you guys. Got a little bit nervous there at the end. Didn't want to have to redo the whole recording, but luckily we got through it. So if this helps you guys out at all, please go down there, hit that like button on this video, hit that subscribe button if you guys are not already subscribed, and leave some comments about what teams you guys have been using to beat this climax battle, because I know it helps a lot of people out when they go down there and look at the comments. And if you haven't already, check out the previous SS Clear Climax Battle video. Check out the comments, because there are some comments with teams there as well. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.